Welcome to the Hemo Life Podcast, your gateway to transformation and empowerment. Hosted by Elia Aguayo, we're diving deep into the world of rare disorders, unlocking the full spectrum of your potential. Each episode, join us as we connect with pioneers, wellness experts, and true survivors. They're here to share powerful stories and invaluable insights, from mental resilience to physical health, community news to life-altering strategies. At Hemo Life, we provide the tools you need to excel and inspire. Prepare to elevate your life, learn, laugh, and grow with us. Let's embark on this journey together.
Well, yeah, let's start with Will. We'll just go top to bottom, but I want to know more about you and your successes and just everything. So yeah, let's start it off.
Yeah, so I was born with severe hemophilia A. Me and my little brother both were, so I have a younger brother that's also severe hemophiliac. My parents my mom's a nurse, my dad's a doctor, so I grew up in a pretty medically sound household.
Gotcha.
They knew it was coming because of my granddad. Mom's a carrier for it. We got tested as soon as we were born. We knew we had hemophilia. My parents never let us use it as a crutch. That was the biggest thing. So never used the word disorder, disease, anything like that. It was always, we just have hemophilia. It was never something that we used to say we couldn't do this. Obviously, there's things like football, people shun football for us hemophiliacs. But my little brother's a college baseball player. He's a phenomenal baseball player.
Wow.
Throwing low to mid 90s at 21 years old. I mean, phenomenal player.
That's crazy.
So it was never something that they allowed us to use as a crutch, which is probably the reason that we're in the shoes that I'm in today, is because of that. I swam since I was 2 years old. Parents used to put me in the bathtub. I was the kid that they had to pick up out of the tub because I would always hold my face down. So they have to watch me in the bathtub. So they realized I was pretty good in the water. And obviously swimming is really great for hemophiliacs. It keeps the joints moving, builds lean muscle. It's phenomenal for hemophiliacs. It's phenomenal for anybody, especially with an anaerobic exercise like that. So I got into swimming at a very young age, and stuck with swimming for 18. So I started when I was 3. I stopped swimming when I was 19, almost 20. So probably about 16 years I swam competitively. I was multiple time on the podium at state. Swam in high school, swam USA swimming. Just always been super active. So that was a lot of fun. Swimming was fun for me. And then once I decided to not swim in college, I jumped into just staying fit and active. I like to feel good, look good. It's a confident boost when you feel good. It's a confident boost when you look good too, and confident how you look. So I started getting into bodybuilding, not really bodybuilding, but just it started for me just being super healthy. So watching what I eat, staying active. I've always been a big proponent of hemophiliacs being in the gym. We have a stereotype that I hear a lot that hemophiliacs have to protect their joints and protect their bones, protect themselves. Well, the best way to do that is to exercise, right? To strengthen all of those things. I mean, strengthen your joints, strengthen your muscles. If your muscles aren't strong, your joints aren't going to do what they need to do either.
Mm-hmm.
So got into weightlifting and started really small and started building up. And now I'm looking towards a show, hopefully at some point next year.
Really?
But yeah, I've got a coach.
Wow.
Jumped on board with a coach. I'm kind of like his little lab rat. It's pretty fun because I'm hemophiliac. I never worked with hemophiliac before.
Yeah.
So it was cool for him to be like, kind of have to mold himself around what I can do as well at the same time. So that was pretty neat. But so swam for a long time and then jumped into bodybuilding. Now looking hopefully to do a show. Matt McCutcheon is phenomenal. He's really helped me out in the workout world. It's kind of like what LA's doing in this world as well, just supporting hemophiliacs. A lot of people wouldn't really want to touch hemophiliac because it's kind of scary. There's a lot of, what's the word? It's not a lot of people know about it. There's kind of like people know it's you were free bleeders. That's what most people know.
Yeah, you're a bleeder. We don't. I mean, I've had dentists that are like, "Oh, you can't come here." I was like, "All right."
Yeah. So fun fact: my dad is actually a dentist, and he's one of the guys in Georgia that with HOG, Hemophilia Georgia is who we use in Georgia. No big shout out to them, but anyway, that's who we get our factor from. He's always been involved in that to say, hey, hemophiliacs, my kids are hemophiliacs. I know how to deal with it. I know how to prep you for that. We've got to load factor up multiple days in advance. We can do a treatment plan for that. And he has actually hemophiliacs that come to him and say, hey, people say you know what you're doing when it comes to hemophiliac because of that exact thing. A lot of us, I mean, doctors, anything are like, nah, sorry, you're scary. It's a big no-no.
Yeah, I mean, we had I kid you not, I've had doctors in the ER that you'd come in with various things. They'd be like, "What is this? When did you get it?"
Yeah.
And then you're like, "All right, well, I'm gonna leave." So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't know what's going on.
I had a place. I mean, it's something as simple as I had a place on my neck, March of last year, that I had to. I think I went through 6 different surgeons. It was. I mean, it was very small. Obviously, they wanted to remove it just in case it was something. It was nothing. And I went through 7 different surgeons before I found a surgeon at Vanderbilt that was willing to do the surgery because of the fact.
Yep. I mean, it's yeah, it's wild to think that you can go through med school and whatnot, and then they they just don't focus on hemophilia, and then it becomes like a foreign thing. You go into the emergency room, they don't know. I mean, I just had a new baby 2 3 weeks ago. He's my first
Congratulations.
boy. Yeah, little Joe. So they were like, well, does the baby have hemophilia? I'm like, no, the baby's not going to have hemophilia because it's an X-linked disorder.
Right.
So the mother would have to be the carrier to give it to the boy. And they're
Right.
like, well, we're not even going to do the circumcision. We're not even going to do blood draws. We're not going to do this. I'm like, are you guys insane?
Wow.
Like, it's like I was giving the baby the plague or something. I was like, no, the baby doesn't have hemophilia. I'm sorry. It's just it's interesting, man. It is interesting.
Yeah, it's
So
crazy. Sorry, go ahead, Ellie.
Oh no, I was just going to say to not. I don't want to get too far off the top of your introduction, but you mentioned something that I think is really powerful for a lot of the parents who are listening. And you were saying that you grew up with your parents having an empowered mindset that they passed on to you. How were they able to cultivate that mindset? Was it just something that like how they were raised, or like what made them so comfortable to empower you like that and to say don't use these words like disorder or disease?
Well, so I have 2 older brothers as well, and neither of them got what everybody calls, the bad X, right? As well, I'm being a carrier. Me and my younger brother did. So they'd had 2 kids that are 12 years older than me and 13 or 14 years older than my younger brother. So they'd had kids for a long time at this point, and then you have decided to have more kids 13, 14, 15 years later, and now it's, oh crap, they have hemophilia too. And my mom had grown up with seeing my great granddad with hemophilia way back in the day, where it was debilitating, and because we didn't have the medical advances that we do now.
Mm-hmm.
But really, it was just the point that obviously there are things that limit what a hemophiliac can do, right? But it's not really what we can do; it's how we do it and what you have to do to be able to do those things. So, I mean, the biggest thing for us is that it was there were things, obviously. Football, that's not smart hemophiliac. That's kind of one of those unwritten rules. But there's so many other things that you can do and you can be so good at as a hemophiliac. Swimming was great for me. My brother has to be really careful with baseball. That's kind of one of those fine line things with baseball. But he exercises twice a day. He's on top of his factor. He makes sure he's infusing. Same with me. I am on top of it. I mean, I could tell you if I've got a daggum pulled, joint in my finger that's feeling funny because I'm in tune with my body. And it's something my parents always instilled in me when it comes to the fact that, yes, we have a disorder. We have a disease, and that's what everybody else labels it. Mm-hmm. But when you really have an understanding of what we have, there's not much that hemophiliac can't do. There's nothing that we can't do in this world.
Oh, yeah. And to echo that, I will say, I mean, I think we've all been to chapter events. We've all been to the big, conferences that are hosted. And, as hemophiliacs, you can converse with other hemophiliacs there, not necessarily just going to each, table or whatever, but there's hemophiliacs there that you can connect with. And be honest with you, like there's hemophiliacs that I've encountered that they have that opposite mindset where they've been told, you can't do this, you can't do that. And it just pushes them down. And they're almost like in this box and they're just scared to do anything in not only health wise, but in more of like a business wise, school wise. Like they're so scared to do anything with their life. Yeah. And I see that they're in this like box because, whether it's where they grew up or what they were told. And it's kind of, it's sad because I'm a physician. You're obviously a successful guy. We're going to get into like your business side. We want to talk about that. And then LA, he's starting a clothing line. Like, I feel like from an early age, hemophilia can like put that, I guess, picture in your mind that you are this and this is what you're going to be and you are limited to this. And then when you just told me your brother's like almost throwing 100 miles an hour, it's like, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Yeah,
I think, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say to feed off of what Dr. Joe was saying is the first part of my life, my first 20 years, I developed so many limiting mind beliefs, and that really affected me. And it wasn't until I became mature enough and was able to recognize those limiting beliefs that, it probably took me 5+ years of extreme intention and goal setting to be like, if I want to get out of this depression, then I'm going to have to do something about it, and that I'm no longer a victim to my hemophilia. So man, that just took a lot of work. And that's part of my journey with like sharing my story is just because I see it's a common denominator in a lot of hemophiliacs. They kind of use it, we all have some fixed mindsets based off of, our environment, our family, religion, all these things. And then you throw in a disorder, and then, that can really affect you. So
yeah, no, it can. And it's like, I really like what you said. It's a mindset. It really is. And this, you can really get down and out about it. I mean, I'll tell you, when I have injuries in the gym or anything, it really gets in your head because you get in such a groove and you start seeing progress. And for us as hemophiliac, it's more progress than I don't want to say should be seeing, but you're really growing, right? And it's a big deal for somebody that has a bleeding disorder like this to be able to do what we are doing. LA, I was drawn to you by what you're doing, how you look, how much you work out, because I do the same thing. It's and it may not be for everybody. But again, everything falls into that mindset that there's nothing that we can't do out there as long as we put our mind to it. And we can't think of this hemophilia thing that we have as a limitation. We can live a very normal life with the factor and everything that we get. I live a very normal life, right? Obviously, there's things that we have to deal with, like bleeds. Those we're all going to have those moments. But as long as you stick to that mindset that I can get through this, right? There's light in that tunnel. Then it's possible.
And just to kind of give you a little snapshot of what me and LA are building, we have the Hemo Life podcast. That's obviously what we're doing now, empowering people, sharing their story. But we started doing these events sponsored through Rise, and these events are getting people together. We had a big showing. We had about 20, 30 guys that came out, and each event is going to be sponsored by, it could be Rise, it could be another entity, but we're getting other outside businesses to sponsor these things to where we can connect with other hemophiliacs and not just have it to where it's in a setting where, you have to go to a conference or you have to go to the chapter event. We want for hemophiliacs by hemophiliacs.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So you mentioned like at one point you stepped away from the community and then now you're kind of transitioning to maybe wanting to play a bigger role again. Kind of like walk me through like that mindset.
Yeah. So, because of how active I am and how active my little brother is. And then obviously my mom's a nurse, so she's always been very on top of, how hemophilia is. And my mom's a nerd when it comes to hemophilia. She can tell you probably more than most hematologists can because she's got 2 kids that are hemophiliac. So she was always trying to keep us involved. I went to camp 1 o'clock here in Georgia. I went to a lot of the HOG and our local chapter events. And then I was actually asked to speak, or not really speak, but I was asked to be a part of an event in Chicago that I guess it's whatever the big hemophilia event is every year. It slips my mind.
Yeah, like NHF or HFA, one of those big ones.
Those two. And I was 16 or 17 at the time. And I remember to a certain degree them telling me like, hey, this is what you need to say. Here's the one question you have to answer. Don't speak outside the box. And that's it. And I'm like, but there's so much I want to tell these kids. There's so much that I want to show them. There's so much that we can do. I got up on stage as a hemophiliac at that time in a suit, like a nice tailored suit that I literally was trying to like bargain for because I wanted to buy it, right? But I wanted to show these kids that we're normal people. There's nothing in this world that we cannot do as hemophiliacs. But when they put us in this box, and I was very, very blessed at a young age at HOG and AFLAC in Atlanta to get a doctor that did not put me in that box, right? He would always say, okay, if you're going to do this, we need to change your prophy to this. We need to make sure you're doing this. Be aware of these things. It was never, don't do this, don't do that. It was very, okay, if we're going to do this, these are the things you need to think about. If you're going to do this, we need to treat you this way.
Yeah.
It was never in that box. My parents did the same thing, is never put me in that mindset to say, you can't go do that. because as soon as somebody tells me I can't do something, I'm going to improve. That's the mindset I've had my entire life, and it started probably with hemophilia, and honestly, because it's a massive hurdle that we have to do.
But I feel like hemophilia has been like a gift in a sense, because I mean it's made me who I am today. Like when I think about it, like I'm driven. I mean, getting through 12 years of med school. I was recently on the Dr. Drew show on Hulu. Like I would not be where I'm at today if I didn't have that mentality of, okay, you think I can't do this? Watch me.
Right.
You can't think, watch me. And then it wasn't for like to build myself up. I have a little brother. He's 25. I'm 38. He has severe A. Like I wanted to show him like, hey man, like pull up your bootstraps. You can do this. And for all the future generations, like I never had a doctor that had hemophilia. Like I was like, no. I want to be that. Like I want to be a doctor with hemophilia that I can relate, because I've walked in your shoes actually. That bleed, I've had that bleed before. And I never had that. And I was like, you know what? I want to dedicate my life to doing that and giving back. So I think in each one of our instances, hemophilia has like pushed us. Like, thank God we have it, because we wouldn't be where we're at today.
It's been a blessing and a curse for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, so back to your question, like, I mean, really, when I've been a long time follower of you. So funny fact, that same Chicago was when you and I met, if I'm not mistaken. You and I were introduced through Miss Kathy, a nurse. I don't know where she's a nurse at now, or where she was at the time. Mom knew her. She used to be in Atlanta, and she introduced me to you at that point. I've followed you on Instagram ever since. Man, that was 6, 7, 8 years ago, whenever Chicago was.
Yeah, I was trying to think about it when I was creating the show. I was like, man, when did we meet? And how was that?
It was a long time ago, dude.
Okay.
And then I saw what you're doing with the Team of Life and these meets and these groups meetings and everything. And I was like, man, like I'm in a position now where I can show these kids even more. Like I'm at a point in life where I can show these hemophiliacs, you can do even more. Like I thought I could do a lot then with swimming. There's so much more to it, man. There's so much more, and I can show that. And I got to a point where I was just like, I'm sick of sitting on the sidelines. It's cool to see you do that, right? But why sit on the sidelines when I have a story? I can tell that story. I can teach and show. And like you said, Dr. Joe, that I've had that bleed. I've been in that position. I've done that. I've seen that, done that. Why not, push? I mean, even if it affects one person, or I can tell one person that changes one person. It's one person, man. It's one person that lived the quality of life that you and I, the three of us, are living with hemophilia.
I think the common denominator that you and I have, Will, that kind of connected us too, was that I also was getting approached to do all these speaking engagements, getting paid. Yeah. And then I would go, and then they would tell me, well, your story's nice and all, but our lawyer said you can't talk about this. Yeah. And I think that we all have this like purpose because of what we've gone through, that we want to utilize what we've gone through to help other people, but we want to be genuine, and we want to do it, in the right way. But the way that the community has kind of built everything out with the chapters and everything, you have to promote a medication or, follow their guidelines and their red tape. And that just doesn't bring out the most genuine side to our story and the realness. Yeah. And I think that's the journey of the Hemo Life podcast. And, now collaborating with Dr. Joe, and, Dr. Joe is a very successful entrepreneur and a good leader and mentor as well. And because of his connections, now we're able to do even more and to take this to new heights. And, we saw what you've done and what you've accomplished, and you have to do, success leaves clues, and, you're doing something right, and that could provide value to a lot of people. So we're hoping to work with you with, the Hemo Life stuff.
And it boils down to, I keep bringing back for hemophiliacs, by hemophiliacs. So the greatest value that I've witnessed, even going to these chapter events and everything, was just getting hemophiliacs in a room and just conversating. Yeah. Not like sitting there and like, let's learn about this, let's learn about that. It was just a group of guys that maybe from all different states, all different parts of the country, wherever. And we were just all like sitting there talking and like conversing. That's where the really secret sauce is. And that's what me and LA want to promote, is like, look, maybe there's a guy there that just wants to talk about how do I look better and how about bodybuilding. Maybe there's a guy there that wants to know, like, hey, you guys are really successful. Can you help me? I'm interested in setting up podcasts, streaming. I actually want to be a guy I want to be a plumber. I don't know what it may be, but there's so much value in us connecting because we share a similar story. And there's a lot of pain points that we've all went through and at different stages of our life that we could really provide a lot of value to each other. Just in a room talking, having a dinner. I mean,
And like we always say,
we were
you
born
become
into a
the three or four, you become like the 3 or 4 people you hang out with the most, so like the goal is to bring these leaders who've intentionally built a successful life and overcome these adversities so that we can ask these kids the right questions whenever we are mentoring them. We're not just talking about chicks and stuff like that. We're talking about like, what are your dreams? What are your goals? Okay. Do you have clarity to that vision? Do you have steps? Like, these are the right questions. It's all about asking those valuable questions. And, I think that's what all of us can really accomplish.
Yeah. I mean, it like I said, you're pretty much born with hemophilia into like the coolest blood brothers club of the world. Like we all have the same. I mean, obviously, LA, I think you're hemophilia B, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Dr. Joe, you're same as me, hemophilia A.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, dude, it's all the same concept, but I mean, you're born with it, and you guys are building like the coolest blood brothers club in the world. I mean, it doesn't get much real than this.
Yeah. Well, we want you to be a part of it. I want you to share a little bit about, I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
LA's an entrepreneur. We want to get into that. So tell us a little bit about like, hey, you did your swimming, you did this, but obviously I don't know if you have a family or not, but you have to.
You said something about selling
yeah.
a multi-million-dollar business or something.
Yeah. Tell us about
these are some huge achievements. I have to know more about the business side.
Yeah. So finished swimming, went to college for 2 years. In that 2 years, my older brother, who's not a hemophiliac, he's an engineer, decided that he wanted to start brewing beer for a living. And so he built out a brewery. We had a huge brewery here in our local town. Which was super cool. So I helped him build that business. For me, it was a learning experience on how to build a business and grow a business. And so about 3 years into that, he sold it. So I was about 20 at the time when he sold that. And I was the grunt, man. I was anything he needed me to do. I mean, I poured concrete countertops and hung this and moved that, it was whatever I needed to do. And I helped in sales. That's where I started first learning sales. Honestly, just client base, right? Just talking to people, just having a conversation, shaking hands, kissing babies. That was my first introduction to just customer service. And so when he sold that, I was like, well, crap, what am I supposed to do now? So I was still in college and started to look for a job. And I needed something that was flexible because I had classes. I was working an internship that was based on my degree at the time. And I found roofing because it was knocking on doors, making sales, just talking to people. I mean, it was the worst they can say is no. I was like, this sounds fun. Okay, I'll try it. Tried it, loved it, fell in love with it, man. I don't know why it was so much fun, but you just go knock on somebody's door and if they answer, you could have
You're
a cool
a better man
conversation.
than me, man. That scares the shit out of me.
Well, it's because one of the things my dad taught me was that all somebody can say is no. I mean, the worst case scenario is they slam the door in your face. I mean, really.
Or they can pull a gun. They can
they can do that too. They can do that too.
That's not the worst thing, brother.
Yeah. I mean, but
stick the dog on you.
Yeah, and in the big scheme of things, like all they're going to say is no. I mean, they might slam the door on you, they might yell at you, they might cuss you out, whatever. Okay, cool. On to the next one. But in that, you also get to have some really cool conversations. I mean, most of the time, I might even sell somebody a roof, but I build this really cool relationship, meet somebody really cool. I've met some friends that I have now through that, some older guys that are in their 60s and 70s that the stories they have and the life lessons that they have are some of the coolest things in the world. But so I worked for a company while I was still in college, and realized that in college it was a waste of my time. It was a waste of my money for me personally. Not knocking college at all. It's for some people. It's not for others. For me, it was not for me. I was in school for business, and I'd already ran a business with my brother, and I was already running a business again in roofing, and I realized that I could do the roofing thing on my own. So I started my roofing business, investment roofing, at 20 years old. 20 years old, and we are trucking through year 4 right now. So went from first year and a half, I had nobody. I was solo. I worked 7 days a week, probably 13, 14, 15 hours a day. I went to sleep roofing and I woke up roofing. I was working Sunday to Sunday, 24/7. And it was awesome. I grew it. It just exploded. The connections I had built in college, the connection I had built talking to people at the brewery, just everything. I took every avenue I possibly could and call people, cold calling. Hey, remember me? I used to, sell you beer at the brewery. Need a roof? Dude, I'm serious. That's what I was doing. And then it was just
like some old school marketing tactics.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. And so about a year, probably about, I'd say 15 months into it, I had a guy come to me and say, hey, I'm looking to leave the roofing company I'm working for right now. I've seen what you're doing. You've got great reviews. You seem to be really doing great and running a good business. Do you have a job for me? I'm like, I mean, yeah, I hadn't really planned to hire anybody. I was pretty happy where I was making good money, wasn't making a ton of money, but I didn't want for anything. I didn't need anything,
Yeah.
bills were paid, living in a decent house, roof over my head, I'm happy. And I was just continuing to grow. So I was like, you know what? Sure. I still a little money back in case something like that came about, and I hired him. Well, next thing I know, he's like, hey, there's like 6 guys from the company I was working for that all need jobs. Do you want them? I was like, oh, crap. Holy smokes. Okay. So next thing I know, I have like 5 or 6 sales guys blowing at one time.
Dang.
And yeah, so it went from by myself, not managing a team, to boom, like all out, go, go, go. And so year 2, that happened in August. So yeah, so it's right at like 13 or 14 months in business. And by December, I was like pulling my hair out. I was like, holy crap, this is nuts. Year 3 was a boom. Year 3, we exploded. We doubled revenue, somehow pulled it off, managed it. I was learning as I went pretty much, because roofing it's a lot of fun, but it's you've got 15 million moving parts. You've got homeowners that are pissed off. It's one thing if you give somebody the wrong beer. I'm going to use that as an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's another thing if the roof isn't right or they've got a leak. Your entire home is protected by your roof. Your HVAC is tied to it. How much your heating and cooling costs are. Your plumbing. You don't realize that how much is truly. Everything in your home is protected by your roof. Your roof starts leaking, your home's ruined. It can ruin every story, every floor, everything. And so we exploded year 3, and that was last year. It was our best year yet. We've grown consistently every year. I'm excited for year 4. So our technical year starts in August when it comes to how many years we've been in business. So we just went through year 3. We're checking through year 4 right now. I have a phenomenal team right now. We have 9 sales guys. I've got 2 project managers. And then I have, we run anywhere from 15 to 45 crew guys, depending on the roof size and everything like that. And we service just about the whole state of Georgia. It's awesome.
That's amazing.
Dude.
That's amazing. Yeah.
That's an amazing story, dude. You went from, working at a brewery, you sold the brewery, and now like you took that, now you have 9+ guys that you're, essentially providing income. I don't know, man. Like, this is an incredible story. Like, genuinely, it's amazing. Hey, you didn't let hemophilia define you. Like, it didn't stop you in any way. Like, oh, I can't get up for work. I can't do this. I can't do that. Look at what you're doing. Like, it's a testament that shows, hey, you might have some physical ailments. You have this disease, we'll call it, but look at all of us. Like, we're successful. Like, I don't know, like, Will, like, it's amazing what you've done.
Yeah. And that was the cool thing is, like, everybody, obviously, like I said, my dad's a doctor, my mom's a nurse. My family, I grew up, never wanting or needing anything. But my dad was never one for handouts. He still isn't to this day. So when it comes to the business, it was maxing out credit cards. It was trying to figure it out as I went. It was not, getting a loan from, dad or anything. It was literally either you make it or you break it and you're going to be in debt. You make it or you break it or they're going to repo my truck. It was brutal for the first 6 months. I was 20 years old. I didn't have tons of money in the bank where I could just go throw it at a business. I mean, it was everything I could do to pay for the business registration and the down payment on the insurance policy so I could go to work. Like, that was me maxing it out, man. I mean, I used to make ramen. I was living at the time. There was probably 2 or 3 months where I really started making money because I was just dumping everything back in the business, where I think I found probably 15 or 20 different ways to make ramen, dude. It was awesome. Like, it was fun, but look where we are now, man. Like, life is great. Like, life is
it wouldn't be the same without that struggle either, without those memories and that journey, the process. And my brother, he's a little bit younger than me, and he's kind of going through these stages now too. And it's like, man, I feel for you, but at the same time, like, these moments, this time frame is so crucial. And like, you have to go through it. It's like I want to help him get through it, but it's like, you need to endure some of these things. You need to miss a few meals, and then you're like, and then you really start appreciating, the success when it comes.
The little things.
Well, hey, diamonds are made from pressure, so sometimes you got to be in the pressure cooker, man. I'm serious. Like, I've been in the pressure cooker. I think we all have. It's just one of those things where, I don't know, we want to do good for our families, but we also want to provide an example for the future. I don't know, like, we have a lot of guys that are from that 12 to 16-year-old range, 18-year-old range, and they're trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives. And a lot of these, podcasts, a lot of these events, hey, what can I do? How do I do this? Well, this is what I did. And it just provides like a layer of confidence that they have us as mentors. I mean, think about all the big things. I mean, you have, these mastermind courses, Andy Frisella, you have some of these big mastermind courses that teach you like mindset, but they're very expensive. Like, but what if there was a hemophiliac mindset platform like what we're creating? That's what we're creating, that these guys maybe don't have to spend $2,000 and do this thing. They can come to us. That's why we're developing the Hemophilia School. And we're hoping that we can continue to engage and mentor folks that can build up the hemophilia community without these large price tags. And like, that's what me and LA are building.
I think we should have all these deep conversations, like going into, like having people who've been successful in sales and, being able to teach a sales course and like, are the things that made you good, how to start a business, Dr. Joe, you can teach them how to set up the LLC. Like, I'm talking like, that's how like, in the trenches I'm talking about with the Hemophilia School program. We, at our last event, we had a young boy who said, I want to be a streamer. Hey, that's the new age. Like, that's a possibility. So guess what? I had a hemophiliac reach out to me. He's like, hey, I'm a streamer. I'm like, this is what I do. And hey, well, you want to create a course for us on like how to set it up and like how to be successful with it. And like, I think we just have this platform where we handpick certain leaders. And, we can collaborate, create content. Because I mean, content is the name of the game right now, to be honest. If you're not making good content, you're not really reaching people. And Dr. Joe, I think he invested, a lot into us with this content stuff.
Yeah. And Will, I mean, you never know. You might have a guy that's like, hey, I've been wanting to get into my own business and I actually want to get into roofing. Like, hey, well, let me help you. I can, let me mentor you. Or I could have a guy that says, hey, I want to be a doctor. Well, look, this is what you need to do. Let me, like,
exactly.
We're all here on this podcast because we want to help future generations. We don't want to go to a conference and be like, let's go get some free frigiding. That's why we're doing this, is we want to change the whole narrative about what we're putting out there.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, for me, it ties back to in roofing, it's physical, but it's not like I'm not out busting concrete all day. I climb some roofs. So, it even ties back into that, to my health and my training and what I do in the gym. I do a lot of flexibility training. I do a lot of agility training. I, do a lot of not hyperextension, but extend myself, because when you're walking on a roof, my ankles, as all hemophiliacs know, our ankles are sometimes the worst. Ankles, knees, hips, dude, they'll kick my tail sometimes. So I really make sure that my ankles are super strong, right? Do a lot of agility training. My knees, I got to make sure my knees are tanked, man, because it's for anything in life, especially for my job. Like, if I'm not healthy and active, I can't work my job. But it's also the favorite thing about my job is I don't have to sit in a cubicle. I'm not trapped inside. I am constantly go. I get to drive everywhere all day. I get to be outside, breathe fresh air. Like today, dude, I got to go play in the rain. Like, how many guys can sit there and say, dude, I went and splashed in puddles on the roof today in the rain. I got to go rain. It was fun. Like, that was fun for me today. And it's miserable and cold, but it was fun at the same time, and it's awesome. It's what we can do when you're healthy. It's amazing.
Yeah. So I love it, because I feel like you're saying, it's like, stop focusing on the reasons why you can't do something, but like hone in on, okay, well, if I do want to do, this thing that I want to do, what other ancillary things do I need to do in order to do this thing safely? Is it the stretching? Is it working out, eating healthy, mindset? What are those things? Like, instead of just not searching for those answers, like, figure out what those answers are. Do those extra things that you need to do so you can safely, attack your goal that you're going for. And I feel like that's what you've done.
I think what we need to do is have a event in Georgia. You're in Atlanta, right?
I don't know of Atlanta, but yeah, Atlanta's the big city. Yeah, Atlanta's a big city, man. And there's a lot of hemophiliacs here, dude. It's really hard to connect to them, because, as you know, the hospitals and the doctors and HOG, I mean, you pretty much, all they'll let me do is give them my number and my name and say, if somebody wants to call me, they can. They don't give me anybody to reach out to. So it's if they don't reach out, I can't really reach anybody. I mean, and we're rare, man. I mean, there's one out of 100,000 of us, if I'm not mistaken, Dr. Joe?
Yeah. I mean, depending on what you have, whether it's hemophilia A, B, there's only, I believe, 33,000 of us in the United States if you just Google it. But basically, we are rare, but bringing everybody together from one of these events. I mean, we have a couple guys in Georgia, LA. We have a couple guys in Georgia.
We've got,
maybe
I won't say that. I was
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
say their
but
name out loud. I shouldn't do that.
yeah, no, but we bring them. We could do an event where it could be a mentorship event. We'll figure it out, but
Yeah.
we would love to have you a part of it, and just come speak. Our first event, we had a couple guys in Houston that were local. I think your story is very valuable to maybe a mom that just had a baby with hemophilia, or somebody that's living with it, that they're in their adolescence and just need some guidance. We're going to do a lot of things with the Hemo Life podcast, the Hemophilia School that we're developing. And I'm one of the owners of a couple companies, and what we're going to do is take these companies that I own, that we're going to have scholarships that are going to sponsor hemophiliacs. And so we're going to do a lot to empower hemophiliacs to get their dreams, goals. We want to really support the next generation of hemophiliacs and really not define them by their disorder. We want them to be strong, successful entrepreneurs, or whatever they choose, but do it well and realize that they can adapt in this.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I mean, that's been the biggest thing on my heart. I've been working in the community for 10 plus years, and I've met so many guys who are living off the state, on disability, and they don't have the self-belief that they can achieve anything else, that they can still dream. To them, their life is, it's over. Like there's nothing else for them. And it's sad to see, because, they don't deserve that. I mean, guys like us, we had the ability to fight and push past it. There's lots of reasons on upbringing or whatever it was that we were fortunate enough to overcome. But there's other guys out there that really need our help. And Dr. Joe and I mean, we've been changing people's lives already, man. It's been crazy. It's been really, really cool.
Getting some guys out of depression.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like 2 guys that came to the event that they were depressed. Now they're not. It's life-changing for them.
It is.
Even just providing some simple tips on how to eat. Like they eat healthy, the 1 ingredient diet. I have a medical weight loss practice that I'm helping some of these guys help lose weight. Like there's so many things that we can do to help these individuals. And yeah, man, it's exciting. I mean, we're going to develop a part of the Hemo Life podcast that's going to be in Houston. We're building out an entire office that we're going to have an actual podcast studio that we're going to invite folks in, fly them in, and sit down like almost like a Patrick Bet David, and have like a real podcast where we're all sitting with mics. So we're spending a lot of time and money and energy to build that out, to actually have a platform for people to come. We're doing a lot to make sure that this goes, because the mission is important.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't going to be our last conversation. We're going to be teaming up and stuff, but I think this is like a really good first episode to introduce the world kind of to Will. But yeah, man, I appreciate you. I know, Dr. Joe, you said you had about 30 minutes, so we're kind of at that mark, but
I got the kids, the 4 kids rolling in. So they're going to be beating me up here in a minute, but Will, it was great chatting with you, LA. This is just the beginning of something special. And Will, we want you on the next event in Georgia. We want to have you involved in this, because you're an inspirational guy. You've done a lot, and even getting your brother involved. I don't know if your brother, but man, like my brother's involved in it. Yeah, the more the merrier, man.
We didn't pick the next date event location, but it sounds like you just made up your mind, Dr. Joe. You keep on saying
that's it,
Georgia now.
Hey,
so I guess
why not?
He was saying Miami. Georgia.
I got all the connections here, dude. Y'all come on. Just let me know what you need. We'll make
all right, let's get it.
Yeah. Do you guys got good barbecue?
Dude, come on. It's Atlanta, man. Absolutely. I don't know if it's Texas barbecue, but it's Georgia barbecue is its own.
Yeah, I'm a big barbecue guy. So I'm from St. Louis. I went to med school at Kansas City. But barbecue is huge. Yeah, we'll have to get it sponsored, get some barbecue, and just start the Atlanta push. Well, I don't know what we're going to call it, but we'll have to have a huge mentorship thing that we do, and giveaways. I mean, our last event to get everybody healthy, we gave away Apple Watches.
Nice.
So, I mean, hemophiliacs, they need to track their steps. They're interested in going to the gym. Like, I guess just we're doing this big. This isn't something we're just going to go out and hand out a piece of paper and that's it. Like, we want to do this to really change lives.
And I think the school program will really help with the follow-up, because after the event's over, it's like, well, we want to stay in touch with you. We want to, follow up and make sure that you're staying on track. So I can't wait till we launch that school program, which will probably be within the next month.
Well, you guys have a great rest of your week.
Right, you too,
It was nice meeting you. Cheers, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to the Hemo Life podcast. Today's episode hopefully inspired you and provided valuable insights to enhance your journey. Join us again to hear more incredible stories and expert advice from our community. Make sure to subscribe and stay connected with a group of extraordinary achievers and pioneers. On behalf of L.A. Aguayo and the entire Hemo Life team, keep pushing forward, strive for excellence, and remember you are the architect of your own destiny. Until next time, stay strong, stay inspired, and continue on your path to an elite life.